You want to fire your client? I get it. I've been there. Let's talk about this. Okay, first of all, this is a really sensitive topic, and I want to know that I really honor you in this moment for what you're struggling with right now. It's not easy. I get it. Really, it's not. This is a challenging thing. I've been there. I've gone through it. I don't have great news to tell you. I have some 3 simple steps to make it easy for you. No, this is a challenging thing. It's challenging emotionally. It's challenging business-wisely. So here's what I want to say first of all. Congratulations for contemplating this. This is not a small thing that you're contemplating here. And if you're thinking about this, it means that you have awareness on the boundaries that you have as a business leader, the boundaries that you have around your personal life and your emotional state and your team and what you want out of life and what you want out of your relationship with your clients as your vision. So congratulations, great job. This is actually a great indicator that your business is doing well. Now, here's a few things that we get to talk about around this subject before I leave you with a few sentences you can say that will support you in having the conversation of firing a client. I had a client once that it looked fine in the sales meeting and they signed on with us. And as we started working with them, the husband was so belittling to his wife and so demeaning to her and talked to her so demeaningly that I have never been in a room where the air itself was angry. Are you with me? Have you ever experienced that? You really could part the air and see the anger in the room. And that situation was not one that I was willing to be in. It was not one that I was willing as a leader to bring my team into. I knew very, very quickly that this was not an energetic I was willing to work with and work inside of. And that was the first experience I had with a knowing, a gut visceral knowing that this was a no. So I know that there are many reasons why one would fire a client. And so what we're going to talk about first is the importance of having clarity around why this person is not a good fit right now. Don't let this learning moment pass you by. So take a second to be really understanding what is going on here. The next thing that we're going to talk about is, did you give this relationship and this project a chance? Here's what I mean. A lot of times we can feel like the client is not doing XYZ, and so I don't want to work with them anymore. And what I just want to take your temperature here with is, did you give it a chance for reconciliation? What I mean is, maybe you're frustrated that the client doesn't feel like they're following your leadership. Did you give the relationship a chance wherein you say to them at any point something like, hey, I'm noticing that you're not following my leadership in these areas. Is there something that I can do better to support you in those areas? Or would you be willing to follow my leadership because I know that doing my process this way is what's going to get you the most successful result? And their answer to that question could shape differently the relationship as you move forward. If you haven't yet done that, you might want to do that first before you sever the relationship. Next, before we move into talking about the things you can say to fire a client, I want to advise you to be super gentle with the way that you approach this situation. I one time had a client that the project was really deteriorating. Things were going south. They were not being responsive to things. They were not showing up to meetings like they should have been doing. The timing of everything was kind of deteriorating. And although we felt like it was falling apart and we felt like, do we want to work with this project anymore? What we later found out was that they were going through a divorce while they were working with us. Now, I don't know if you've ever been in a situation of a major life change like that, but sometimes life changes can be challenging. No, of course that's challenging. Okay. So we've covered a lot of bases there. Now let's move into actual tactical things you can say and do to fire a client today if you know that's the next right step. First, show them that there is a breakdown in the project. Show them what that is and what it looks like and maybe why it's happening. It could look like, hey, Every time that you don't show up to a meeting or you cancel meetings, it really delays things. Or, hey, every time I come to a meeting, it seems like there's a lot of anger in the home. Like, show them what the problem is that is doing a disservice to the project. The second part of the conversation is going to look like how that's not serving the project's success. The third part of that conversation structure is going to look like how you can support them in the success of the project, which is going to be not working with you. You with me? Okay, so let me give you some examples and some sentences that you could say that will yield that three-part structure. Oh, before I forget, I really recommend having this conversation in person. I know we can want to avoid confrontation and send this over email or send it over a text or better do it on the phone. Nothing is more powerful than face-to-face time. You're gonna get so much more depth out of the person if it's face-to-face than if you would any other way. So I would recommend you do this conversation in person. Okay, now here's an example of what you could say. Hey client, I'm noticing there's a breakdown in the project. I can see that it's because you're looking for something that's not what I provide. Would you be willing to work with me in the way that I provide my services? Because if not, I think it might be better serving for your project to work with another designer, and I'd be happy to connect you with somebody. Do you see the three parts there? Here's another example of something that you could say. Hey, my expertise lies in XYZ area, and I can see that that might not be the perfect fit for what you're looking for. Are you willing to work with me in my XYZ system? Or would it be more beneficial to the outcome of your project, which is very important to me, if you worked with a designer who could better serve you in those three areas? Do you see again the three parts there? Okay, here's another example of what you could say. Hey client, I know that a successful project has areas A, B, and C. I'm noticing that there's a breakdown in area B. Would you rather reconvene this project when you're ready for area B? You see the three parts there again? So there's two things that you're doing. One, you're giving the client an opportunity to rise to your occasion, and two, you're giving them an out. And you're doing that all under the pretense that this is going to be a solution that better serves them. And that is what you're coming with as your goal. The one thing that I really want to highlight in all of this is it's so important to know what the breakdown is. Is it actually an opportunity for you to get better at your services? Because if there is, then there's a great opportunity for you to get better at your services. And we don't want to miss that opportunity. We don't want to miss that lesson. So what is it actually that you could put in place or you could do better to better serve your people, which at the end of the day is our most important role? Listen, I know that interior design can be a lot of fun. I know that designing things is inspirational to us, and I know that it lights us on fire to see a finished project come to fruition. I know that when we're designing something and working on it, and I know that creativity inspires us, I know there's a lot of fun in interior design. And I also know that there's a lot of this. There's a lot of challenges. There's a lot of social dynamics that are complicated. I know that there's a lot of psychology that's involved with working with clients. I know that the depth of interior design can be really challenging. And what I know about that is that it's so important to journey with a group of interior designers so that together you can discuss the challenging things. And that can't happen if you're on your own. I mean, I guess you could. You could be sitting in your tub like, hey, self, today was really challenging. Yeah, self, it was. But you know what's better? It's better to be in a group of interior designers and other human beings that you can talk to that are going to be like, yeah, I get you. So if you are aware that that is really powerful, why don't you come on over to our community, who is a group of interior designers dedicated to journeying together in intimacy and heartfelt leadership. We will be waiting for you with open arms, and I know that you're watching this video means that you're a great fit for our group. So come on over to biographicaldesign.com to learn more about it. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I know you want to. I know you do. Oh, you probably already have, because everybody does.